Sonia Massey. Anywhere where fear runs deep, happy trigger cops don't think, they just leap over a pot of boiling water. Such a shame, a coward in blue playing a deadly game. Sonia Massey pleaded on her knees. I'm sorry, she cried, but he still squeezed. No heart in his chest, just cold and bitter. This feels like a setup by the trigger happy hitter. A life taken too soon for what crime? Just a pot of water bubbling over time. No chance to explain or make it right. In the blink of an eye, plunged into eternal night. The headlights scream of injustice and pain as we mourn another life lost in vain. The system broken, hearts shattered apart by those who should protect with courage, not dark. Sonia Massey pleaded on her knees. I'm sorry, she cried, but he still squeezed. No heart in his chest, just cold and bitter. This feels like a setup by the trigger happy hitter. In a world so unjust, Sonia Massey lost her life. Blame thrown left and right, but just to show ignite. Say her name loud and clear, let the truth be near. In the shadows of this heat, her memory we hold dear. Amidst the darkness and lies that cloud her fate. A victim of cruelty and a cruel twist of hate. Whispers of the injustice echo through the night. Sonia's spirit lingers, demanding what is right. Sonia Massey pleaded on her knees. I'm sorry, she cried, but he still squeezed. No heart in his chest, just cold and bitter. This feels like a setup by the trigger happy hitter. In the shadows of the night, Sonia stood tall. I rebuke you, in the name of Jesus she called. The officer's eyes filled with venomous spite as he dared her. And I rebuke you in the dim moonlight. Sonia pleaded for mercy on bended knees. I'm sorry, she whispered, her voice filled with plea. But the officer's words cut through like a knife. A crazy bitch, she spat with hatred and strife. With courage in her heart, Sonia spoke clear and bold. Her name echoed loud as the story unfolds. Sonia Massey pleaded on her knees. I'm sorry, she cried, but he still squeezed. No heart in his chest, just cold and bitter. This feels like a setup by the heavy trigger hitter. In the darkness of despair, a cry for help was in the air. Sonia Massey, just 36, her mental health in need of fix. But a heartless cop's cruel hand ended her life without a care. Say her name loud and clear, let it echo far and near. Justice must be served, for Sonia's unfairly taken. May her story be a beacon, shining light on lives forsaken. Sonia Massey pleaded on her knees. I'm sorry, she cried, but he still squeezed. No heart in his chest, just cold and bitter. This feels like a setup by the happy trigger hitter. We lift our voices high to honor Sonia's name in the sky. Let it hover over their heads as a reminder of the cost of neglecting those in need and the lives that have been lost. Hey, what up, everybody? I hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble day. I hope all of y'all continue to have a blessed and humble day. I gotta check my mic real quick. Hold on. All right, it does work. Blessings, realist. Blessings. How you doing? All right, y'all. Let's talk about it. Sonia Massey. This is part 2. Yesterday we spoke on her case. We saw a couple clips. We reacted to them. We rewatched the officer's footage. I gave, everybody knows how I feel about the situation and why I'm hitting hard. Like, I was able to make that lyrical poem for the simple fact that it hit me. I felt it. Like, what happened to her? I sit here and I think about it like, damn, people with mental health illness suffer a lot, right? My brother, when my brother was alive, he suffered from schizophrenia, and his was real bad. And he had a couple encounters with the cops, right? But my brother was real shot out. When I saw what happened to Sonia Massey, I wanted to grip the damn cop out the TV, out the screen, and just, I don't know, like, just because for the simple fact, Sonia Massey, if y'all see a lot of people that suffer from paranoid schizophrenia, which is one of the conditions my brother had, and chronic schizophrenia, right? There's different levels to it, right? She was calm. Usually, schizophrenics will start babbling or start saying a whole bunch of stuff, will really, irritate somebody. Some of them get to the point where when they feel like they're threatened, they will attack. And the reason I say it is my brother suffered from, how can I say it, which schizophrenia there is, right? Um, and dealing with him wasn't easy. But when I looked at Sonia Massey, um, it's crazy. Like, for this officer to sit here and pull that trigger, you have to have nothing but pure evil in your heart, if you have a heart. If he has a heart in his chest, right? The way that it went down, he provoked it. He escalated the situation. I hear so many people saying that it was just, and I'm sitting here like, what did you see that I didn't see? Because I saw this lady, right, trying to fend for her life, and she didn't have nothing but an empty pot of boiling water that was bubbling over time. That's all she had. When that man said, put that pot down, she didn't have a pot in her hand. She didn't reach for that pot again until that officer got closer to Sonia Massey. He killed her in cold blood. There was no reason to shoot the second officer. In my opinion, I feel as though he has parts in it. People are saying no. But if y'all go back to yesterday's live, y'all will see why that's still in the back of my head. Because there's no way in hell. Like, I get a lot of people are telling me, and shout out to those people that really did point it out. Like, what if the officer was scared of him? Me, fear would have driven me to snitch on him right there and then. You're about to kill somebody that's innocent. And I say snitch because that's what people call it. They call it ratting. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. He took an innocent life. I would have sat here, try to like, figure it out like, yo, we gotta go. Call dispatch. Look, listen, we need backup. We need somebody to come handle the situation. Something. It took them 26 minutes. 26 minutes. Right? To sit here and call for an ambulance. Sonia Massey was still gasping for her life after this officer shot her. She was still alive for 26 minutes. They had time. They had a chance to try to save her life, and they didn't. So even if the second officer didn't have no parts in it, he not even once tried to stop his partner. Not once. Which to me is kind of like, damn, he ain't even freeze or nothing. Listen, man. I don't know what y'all think. This is an open panel. I'm gonna drop the link. I don't want to drop it yet because I don't, I want to show the videos and then let people come up and talk. Like, shout out to everybody that's come up and, show the shorty support, has rocked out with a shorty, has helped her bring awareness. It's why we bought this channel here. Let's try to bring solutions to the table. Instead of beefing and stuff like that. Listen, man, let's bring these solutions to the table. But let's get this started, y'all. I don't know how y'all feel about the Sonia Massey. I do know that a lot of people feel like justice needs to be served. I feel as though that justice needs to be served. I know a lot of people feel as though that the cop was just, but I feel as though that the cop committed an assault. So hold on one second. Which one is my first video? No, not you. You're gonna be my last video. All right. So we're gonna take a look today. The parents are speaking. I showed a little clip yesterday of it. So we got her parents speaking, and I want y'all to hear. Some people haven't seen all the clips; they haven't seen all the videos. So if you have seen the videos and you know what's happening, shout out to you. But for those of y'all that haven't seen the video, this is what the parents said.
Yes, my name is Sonia Massey, Shadia. Massey, and she is my first cousin. I'm so sorry to hear a loss. Thank you.
My name is Raymond Dwayne Massey. It's RaymondD, and it's Duane, and it's Massey. And I'm Sonia's uncle.
Sonia's uncle. I appreciate it. Do we need everybody closer together at all if we get a screenshot?
If you could scooch just a hair, that would be great. Yeah, so he's looking at kind of right between them.
Yeah, close.
You're comfortable. I know that. Okay. All right. I think well, thank you for the multiple press conferences. We've been following them in detail, and the interest in Ms. Massey's case is massive, and so we really appreciate the insight. We know it's not easy to talk about this, so we don't take it lightly. Can I just first ask, just ask her family? Obviously we all saw the video earlier this week, and we were all horrified by the video earlier this week. Seeing the autopsy results and kind of what they appear to show about how this went, just looking at that report, how do those results hit you? How does that information hit you? Well, it hits us very hard. The way that Sonia was shot and taken from us is disgusting, and it hurts us very bad.
And Maggie, today was the first family member at the house that, and she can tell us her own words, she been a good aunt because they were like sisters, grew up together in the same household. She was trying to clean up the blood in the house so that Malachi, her son, and some of her daughter could come in the house and get their clothes without having to see their mother's blood all over the kitchen floor.
Building your online business? Go to Wix.com and set up your store on a...
So why don't you say that in your own words?
Okay, so my niece and my nephew, they wanted to go to the house because they needed some belongings out of there, and no one wanted to go to that house to clean up that mess. But they needed to get in there, so I would do anything for them. And so I decided to go out there and clean up the crime scene. Mm-hmm. And walking into that house, I just felt her. I felt her.
Yo, Sonia, it was a spiritual war. It was a spirit fighting a demon that night. And her spirit is going to linger. Her spirit is going to linger until there's justice in her case. Because her spirit saw what was going to happen. This lady had a dream when her 4-year-old cousin died that an officer was going to come into her house and shoot her and her son down. You know what's the difference from her dream and what happened that night? That it was only her in that house. Let me ask y'all a question, right? How would y'all feel if you know that you had a loved one that suffers from mental illness and y'all trying to get help for them, right? And in the process of trying to help them out, you have an officer answer the call, right? And the officer that answers the call ends up taking the person's life instead of helping them, right? Then they try to cover it up and say that she was killed by a perpetrator that entered her house. Then they try to say that the wounds were self-inflicted, that basically she tried to kill herself. They try to cover this shit up. If they did this to you, what would you do? Would you sit here and wait around and let them keep playing around on trying to get justice for your loved one? Would you sit here and, do justice yourself, or let karma get that person? Keep fighting. I would keep fighting. So shout out to this family that has been speaking They have not stopped. They have not backed down. Something's off. You're telling me this officer, right, had good intentions? When this officer had a chance to walk away, he didn't. And it seemed like this officer knew the chick, which he did. He's seen her prior. The son said that he thinks that this is the same officer that came earlier that day when the mom was having, an episode. So this officer came in this house with premeditated murder. My thing is, did the girlfriend send him? Right? Because something have happened in that hospital before she either discharged herself or walked out the hospital. Did she see them do something? Did they do something to her? And she came home trying to get help and stuff like that. Because I'm still stuck on the part of how in the world, right? If dispatch thought that these two officers were at another scene, right? By the time that dispatch put the call out, they was already en route allegedly to take this case. Something's not off to y'all. And they're there in minutes. They're already there. Yesterday, I explained it. If y'all go look at part 1, y'all will understand why I keep saying this. The timelines. If y'all look at the timeline, something happened in that hospital that Sonia was in. Something happened between Isabel Butterfield and Sonia Massey. And this officer was going to do something to her, and he did it. My thing is that I think he thought he was going to be slick. I don't know if he knew if his partner's camera was on. I don't know if his partner had something to do with it. That's the only part that I'm thrown off on. But for a fact, this officer wanted to do something. Something happened between Sonia, this officer, and Isabel Butterfield. But I can't, I can't really say it did until more evidence comes out, more proof comes out. But let's listen to what she got to say. Yo, this case is crazy. And if it hasn't hit you, damn, man, I don't know what to say, because this right here hits. A lot of us have loved ones that suffer from mental health.
I felt like I knew what happened to her immediately. When I get to the kitchen
Blessings, Young Riaz. Blessings. How you doing this morning?
and I see her blood laying on that floor, it broke me down. But my main focus was to not let my niece and nephew see what happened to their mother on that floor.
I just wanted to say that the video was horrible enough, but to be misled on.
You know what's crazy though? Shout out to her cousin. But at the we all got good intentions, right? We don't want our kids or somebody else's kids to see when something bad happens. The crazy part is when the video got leaked out, everything got seen. So it's like no matter how hard we try to prevent our kids or our loved ones from getting hurt from seeing something we don't want them to see, they gotta know the truth. They end up seeing it anyways. Like this is something that man, no child should have to go through. Like to have your mother or your father or a sibling or a grandfather or grandmother or an uncle or an auntie that you love so much that has mental health issues killed by the hands of somebody that is supposed to protect.
How things transpired is even more hurtful, and it just makes that pain a lot deeper for our family.
I so appreciate it, sir. If we could try to keep, I think, the camera stagnant on the 2 family members, is that okay?
Yeah, we fixed it on our end.
I so appreciate it. I know it's not easy, guys, so we'll keep that camera up as is, if that's okay, because I think we're going to try to use some questions and answers. Could I ask you just both again, I'm sorry to belabor this point, but when you saw the autopsy result appearing to show that she was shot at a downward trajectory, what did that do to you emotionally?
Well, for me, and everyone's seen the video, she was stooping. It's a downward trajectory because of her telling him she was sorry and ducking. And
She was just trying to get out the way. I can almost see, like she was trying to get out the way.
and you've seen that, like she said, she was ducking, and it makes.
Yeah, and that's crazy because it's true. Sonia didn't know what to do. Officer was telling her to put a pot down that she didn't have in her hand. She told him, I rebuke you. He said, you better not. I'm going to shoot you in the face. She said, I rebuke you again. And boom, he did exactly what he said he was going to do. Like, yo, boy, I'm telling you right now, listen, man, it's crazy, but I'm being real honest. Like, whether y'all believe it or not, when that officer pulled that gun out, I want y'all to look up your rights. I want y'all to look up your laws. Listen, go look it all up, right? Your rights, the laws, all of that. Look it up. You are allowed to shoot an officer, right? In self-defense. You're allowed to, react back towards an officer in self-defense. For those of y'all that don't know, this officer pulled out a weapon on an innocent woman, right? That wasn't threatening him, that wasn't harming him, that wasn't going to do nothing to him. All she said was, I rebuke you. When he went over with that gun, when he was getting closer with that gun, if she had a gun and shot back at him, she would have been in all her rights. For those of y'all that don't know, I want y'all to go look it up. Please don't go by what I'm saying. I want y'all to go look it up. I know exactly what I'm telling y'all. She had every right to defend herself. She wouldn't have been wrong if she had a knife in her hand and he was coming at her with that gun and she decided to stab him. If she had a gun in her hand and decided to fire at him because he was coming at her with a weapon and she wasn't doing nothing. Self-defense. But you know what? I got somebody else that can sit here and explain it. And I'm glad that, shout out to Novelist, I'm glad he explained it because a lot of people don't know about this. Listen, I got a little book, right, that tells me the little penal codes. It tells me the little whatever. I don't know how to explain it and put it into words, but basically it tells you your rights, what you could do, what you can't do, what you're not allowed to do, about the judges, the cops, the officers. Like, it's stuff out there that would teach you all this stuff, and you can learn your rights and what you can do and what you cannot do when you come across a situation like this. But don't go by what I'm saying. I want y'all to go out there and do your own research because a lot of people don't know this. But see, I learned this when I was 21, when I had to sit here and defend my mom, right? I got locked up for stabbing somebody. My record got expunged. It was self-defense. The officers were supposed to arrest the people that came in front of my mama's property, right? And they did what they did, right? I'm not going to speak on it, but at the end of the day, I wasn't supposed to be the one getting arrested. The officers were in the wrong. But, right, I won my case. Self-defense. A lot of people like, it's going to be hard to beat that. Nah, it's self-defense. Learn your rights. Learn them. I had to learn them at an early age. Because listen, man, I'm not somebody that beefs, but I will sit here and defend myself. I will sit here and protect what I have to protect. On some real shit. I'm going to protect mine, even if it costs me my last breath. I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover, but if I have to sit here and fuck somebody up, sorry that I'm cursing, I will. I don't care if you're the Pope. I don't care if you're an officer. My rights are my rights. But let's get back on topic. I apologize for that, but I wanted y'all to know that when it's in your house, you have rights. Oh, I'm so sorry. Blessings, Blessings Hot Topics and Good Folks. If y'all haven't checked out Blessings Hot Topics and Good Folks, go make sure y'all check her out. Great conversations, great topics. And Everybody on here does have a channel. Y'all can leave y'all links down there. Y'all got y'all mods. Y'all got the sticks. Y'all can leave y'all links. Make sure y'all check them out. But let's get back on topic. But let us shorty know what y'all thinking, how y'all feel about the situation. What would y'all do if y'all was in the shoes of Sonia Massey's family?
Makes our whole family feel horrible.
Yeah. And that coupled with the fact that he took 2 to 3 steps over in the video where he can have a direct shot at her.
And another thing is that I heard the first 2 shots in the video that those shots didn't hit her. It's like he reached around to purposely hit her, and that's the hurtful part. I feel like if he
I said that the first time when the body camera was on mute, he threw the first 2 shots. That's what made her reach up for that pot and empty the water out and use it as protection. She thought that this pot was going to protect her face. Like, she was already paranoid. This officer was in the wrong. And to top it off, he knew she had mental health issues. So for those people out here that are saying that he was in the right, no. Sonia Massey wasn't wrong. It was the cop's assault. He was wrong. He assaulted her.
felt he made a mistake, that third shot wouldn't have went off, the one that took her eye.
There was no humanity, there was terrible things that was said even after the fact.
That's true, realist. But you know what's crazy right now? There's a black cop getting a lot of heat, a lot of lashback. Well, 2 of them. 2 black cops right now getting a lot of heat, a lot of lashback because they're saying that the cop was right. That he was in all his rights to sit here and shoot down Sonia Massey. Can you believe that? Can y'all believe that we have an actual black cop saying that this officer was just for shooting down Sonia Massey? Yeah, go look it up. And I'm gonna keep saying go look it up from now on because I don't want people to I don't want people to think that I want y'all to, go by what I'm saying. Because listen, I ain't perfect. And I'm not always right, but I do my research. And I know what I'm talking about. And I know that I be wrong a lot of times. I can misunderstand certain things, or I could take something wrong. But at the end of the day, shit, I know when to take accountability. Hey, I fucked up. I was wrong in this situation. I apologize. But right now, I want y'all to go look up your laws. I want y'all to know that if an officer, right, threatens your life, you are able to protect yourself and defend yourself from this officer. And I'm not telling y'all to go out there and start some shit with officers and get yourselves in trouble. I'm telling y'all to learn y'all laws so y'all can know how to defend yourselves when shit like this pops off. Oh, that's facts. If a black officer was to be the one that pulled that trigger, he would have been lynched the next day. That's a fact, blessings. Blessings, Miss Tamika Davis. Blessings, how you doing? Happy Sunday to everyone. The architect. Look, can't defend yourself if they get the drop on you. Oh, you're completely right. But what I'm trying to say is, right, I don't want y'all to misunderstand what I'm saying, right? Yeah, you can't, defend yourself when they got the drop on you. But I want people to know. I want them to go out there and learn their rights. I want y'all to understand. I don't want y'all to be scared. When an officer pulls up a gun, you just have to stay there and freeze because if you do something back, you're going to jail. Listen, regardless of anything, somebody's going to be booked until your innocence is proven. Until you're proven innocent, right? But me, I know that if an officer's pulling this weapon and I know he's pulling the trigger, I'm going to try to defend myself. You see where I'm coming from? And that's what I want people to know. I want y'all to know that y'all can defend yourselves. If y'all didn't do nothing wrong and an officer is threatening your life, you can defend yourself. eat your food? All right, we'll finish your food and then we talk in a minute, baby. Yeah, I want y'all to look up y'all rights, man. Look, I learned this when I was 21 because I had to, defend my mom. She was involved in some bullshit. Sometimes my mom had a mouth on her. So she got herself involved in some bullshit. Some people came over here, gang deep, squad deep. And I wasn't around. I walked into the mess. Like, all I know is I'm walking in. I'm thinking I'm coming to see my mom. I was pregnant at that time. I didn't even know I was pregnant with my second child. So, like, I'm sitting here, like, a whole bunch of shit was popping off. People was defending, your mom's getting her, like, da-da-da-da. There's some people fucking with her. People was already defending my mom. But when I came in, whoa, like, everybody else started, like, that shit got squad deep. Like, I got people that love me. I just don't brag about that shit. Like, but what I'm trying to say is, go learn your rights, right? Like, 'cause my story isn't for this right now. My story, like, that's a topic for another day. But we're on Sonia Massey, and like I told y'all, this hit me close. This hit me because I had a brother with mental health. He had schizophrenia. He had paranoia, and he had chronic schizophrenia. He needed a lot of support. He needed a lot of help, and he, came across, a couple times where, well, if we wasn't there to calm him down, an officer could have took him out. So I know what it's like. But Sonia Massey wasn't reacting like you would see somebody with schizophrenia out here react. She was calm, cool, and collected, and she did mention that she took her medication. So probably her taking her medication and her praying and her, and her faith kept her that calm. Sonia had an angel over her shoulder that day. Because when I tell you that when the schizophrenic feels paranoid, once that cop pulled that gun out, they react. She didn't react. She tried to defend herself. She reached back up to the stove, picked up a pot of water, threw that shit out, and kept going like this. Officer got closer. After he threw the first two shots, I knew it. I saw it. Got closer and aimed. It wasn't just a headshot. He also aimed at the chest. But I hope you get better. Blessings. Be careful, yo. Y'all know they getting ready for another pandemic, right? Go out there, do y'all research. They ready for another pandemic. So trust me, it's gonna be another government shutdown soon. Allegedly, let me say allegedly before I don't want them to strike me. But I'm listening when I go to these meetings and stuff like that. So get ready. It's coming. Something's coming.
Laying there on the floor.
Wix gives you the power of AI to build the website you need. With full
That's hurtful, very hurtful, and I don't know.
The way that she was shot in the autopsy report, we kind of already knew what the autopsy was going to say. We kind of already felt, from watching the video from the beginning, without the blurs, without everything, we kind of knew. We didn't know where the shots went in and came out, but after watching that video the first time, we kind of knew what the autopsy would come out to be.
Sonia was a very, very peaceful, loving person. And not even that situation, but she wouldn't aggressively, call people.
See, she wasn't aggressive, but she was paranoid, which means this officer could have handled that situation completely different.
Names or she was always just beautiful, loving, caring.
I love you. I love you. I love you. That's kind of a Massey thing. We love everybody. So they probably heard me all over the world telling me, I thank y'all, love y'all so much. Science last words to the person that killed her was, I love you. That was us. We still loved very hard. And I'm sure Science still felt the same way.
Can I ask you, and this is obvious, but if I could just get you to kind of sort of drill down this point, you're not just shining a spotlight at the video, you're not just shining a spotlight at the autopsy report, you're shining a spotlight at Grayson's past.
I would say not only that, I mean, we need answers we need all the answers. We're not just looking for some answers. We need all the answers.
What stands out to you most from what you've learned about the past?
Well, I would say for me, it's what stands out the most is how heinous it was and how disrespectful it was during, and the world's seen the video, so that's what hurts me.
And I just feel like he should never been hired as a sheriff. And that is the most that is standing out for me. That is the biggest part for me. How did he even become to even get to this point?
He shouldn't have been hired. If y'all go look, this officer had quite a record. And them 2 arrests that he had, with them 2 arrests alone, we don't know how in the world he got hired. Oh, my bad. Let me take it back. We do know how he got hired. Isabel Butterfield still has a pool in the police department. He is, I guess, that much respected that they took his word and hired a man and ignored his background.
When you look at his record, you mean?
Yes, ma'am. When I look at his record, yes, ma'am.
There were so many red flags.
Yeah, which of those, and I guess I'm asking about the employment record and also his criminal conviction. What, based on everything that you've uncovered, which seems to be quite a bit, what stuck out to you as far as like his time even before?
I chose Wix for my business because of
Commercials.
its massive scope for functionality and freedom of creation.
For joining this sheriff's department, like when you're looking at all these things that you say red flags, which red flag stood out to you the most?
The fact that he had 2 DUI convictions, the fact that he had been not discharged in the normal course with the Army, that they found he had serious misconduct, the fact on his questions for his employment, he admitted that he drinks a lot of alcohol. He also, before he got hired by Sangamon County at Logan County, they had 2 unfounded allegations of him engaging in misconduct. The question that the family has is, did he have any alcohol or drugs in his system on that night that he shot Sonia Massey in her face?
Yeah, can I ask for relatives? Mr. Crump just listed some of the things that have made headlines from the deputy's past. As just people who, you're not in law enforcement yourselves, nor am I, like, what did you think when you started uncovering all these details about his employment history and those red flags that you're talking about? How did that hit you?
Well, it speaks some about the department as well. I mean, should he, like Attorney Crump said, should he have been hired? I mean,
He shouldn't have been hired. It's messed up, right? Because this family really just wants to seek answers. They want to know, why would this officer have the courage in his heart, if he has any heart, which to me is just cold and bitter. He has no heart in his chest. If he has any heart, to pull a trigger on a defenseless woman, what made him do it? But if y'all go watch part 1, y'all will see what I feel made him do it. I feel as though, like I said before, his wife, which they say is a fiance, but they got married now in 2024, last month. I feel as though she has something to do with it. I feel like Sonia Massey and her, something went down, right? And the husband went to, or Sonia saw something go down in that hospital that they did. Could he be selling drugs in a hospital? I mean, I could come up with so many theories, but something definitely went down in that hospital between Sonia, Isabel, and Sean. That's that's my opinion. That's what I think. I don't know what y'all think. I'm gonna drop the link in a little bit, and y'all can let me know.
Yeah, as you're digesting all of it, how do you make sense of that, I guess?
I don't know if that, I don't think we'll ever make sense of this.
Have you had any communications with the sheriff of Sangamon County or with the department since this happened? Have they shed any light to your family on how he was able to get his job and essentially get hired again?
I know to my knowledge that our family has not been contacted by that department as of today.
People within the department that maybe I know personally have reached out on their own to send their condolence to me and my family.
For those who, whether they're in law enforcement in the Springfield area or elsewhere, and they make decisions about who to hire and who to give a gun to and who to give that power to on a daily basis, what would you tell them? Like, what sort of, I guess, a takeaway from seeing that someone with Grayson's background was able to...
Wix gives you the power of AI to build the website you need. With full
to get the job.
Sorry, I'm about to switch to premium on the next one.
What would you tell those who kind of have that decision-making power?
I would just think that they need to do a better background check on everybody.
And I feel that the department needs to have different policies and protocols. I mean, else he would not have been hired. I mean, I think everyone agrees to that, but
I just feel like there was somewhere, if you're getting hired at 6 different or 4 different police stations or departments in a 6-year period, there was a red flag there. They should have did a deeper investigation or a deeper background check on him there. There's no one's going to leave a job like that in a year. This is your career.
I was going to say that I retired out of VMS after 23 years, and I know that when we come up on someone that's troubled, we would call not law enforcement, but it's a CIT, the crisis intervention training. Individual will respond, and there was a lot of things at the initial when he was speaking of her. There was a lot of red flags that he should have immediately called someone that can deal with individual with mental illness. And I believe most places have some type of training with mental illness that I feel she was failed.
And this might sound redundant, but if I could just get you to confirm this. I mean, it's your opinion that he never should have been hired for that job.
I don't think it's only his opinion. I think a lot of people that has, dug into the case, has looked at the records, the paperwork and all that. He should have never been hired. Like he was only hired because somebody knew him. Other than that, he wouldn't have really been hired at all. I mean, like if you look at his record, like it's crazy. It's like hiring a teacher. Well, they do hire these teachers that are, on drugs and stuff. Like I've done live showing y'all that these teachers go to school, they take their drugs, they've gotten arrested with alcohol, pills, all types of different shit. Like, so it's like, I don't know. I guess they got to get better on their background searches when they hire people. It doesn't matter if it's in a police department or in a school district, for real. Like, something's off with their hiring. Like, are they just hiring to hire, or they just don't care?
Look, 2 DUIs. There was a lot of red flags. No, I agree that he should not have been hired.
Maggie, is that everything? We gotta.
Can I just,
Janelle, do you want to add anything at the end?
Hey, Janelle,
Hi, Ben.
good job on your article.
Thank you so much. And thank you for you all speaking with us. I know how difficult a time it is. I've been the one doing a lot of the reporting, unearthing the things in his background. And I just wanted to know, specific to Sonia's killing, do you believe that race played a factor, that had Sonia been maybe a white woman, he may have shown her a little more or any consideration and treated her any differently than how he did?
Yes, we do.
100%.
Ben, I know you had more to say on that. Did you want to weigh in on that at all when you spoke? You said more.
Yeah, I was letting them win. Obviously, I think if she was a white woman, she'd still be alive today.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think your colleague here has a couple of questions before we get some of your other.
That's a good question. If she was a white woman, would she still been alive? I think so. Maybe. But I think this was a little more personal. Well, I'm just hoping they're not trying to change it to something else. If she was a white person, would she still been alive? Yeah. But I think this was a little more personal.
Industry colleagues.
I just wanted to ask you guys, what does justice look like for Sonia in this overall? What does justice look like for you?
I'm a complete whole. I think we're going to get full justice, and I pray that we do.
So you think you know Wix? Do you really?
Oh, he's hitting me with these commercials.
First up, we've got Shake.
No, I believe that's
Justice for Sonia would be him getting life in prison, his partner doing some time, because something deep down inside me knew that his partner knew what he was going to do. But and the truth coming all the way out completely. That would be justice for Sonia.
That's the whole justice. And as she said, that if he needs to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, and that'll be some time.
And there have been, plenty of rallies, marches in support of Sonia. How has the community shown their support? How has that impacted you all?
It has been wonderful. I have not seen this in my life. I never would have imagined it, but just the community and the Facebook posts and the calls and the everything that I'm seeing, it is great. It is wonderful, and we appreciate everyone.
I can tell you, it's obvious that why Sonia's mother, my sister Donna, is not here. But I can tell you that that does give her hope. She really appreciates what the world's doing for her in the comments. And so I think that's going to help us. But we have a long road ahead of us.
I know you guys have talked a little bit.
It's crazy how they feel like the world will uncover the case before the police does. The police knows what happened. They're covering it up. In the world is, figuring it out little by little. There's a lot of people covering this case, and there's a lot of people putting their noggins together and figuring out what actually happened. Because Elizabeth is right there. Like, the video shows it all. Flags were all over the place, and Sonia spoke to the world loud and clear. Like, the best way I could put it into words for y'all is like this. Say her name, loud and clear, so they'll never forget it. Sonia Massey. Anywhere where fear runs deep, heavy trigger cops don't think, they just leap over a pot of boiling water. Such a shame, a coward in blue playing a deadly game. Sonia Massey pleaded on her knees. I'm sorry, she cried, but he still squeezed. No heart in his chest, just cold and bitter. This feels like a setup by the trigger happy hitter.
A life taken too soon for what crime? Just a pot of water bubbling over time. No chance to explain or make it right. In the blink of an eye, plunged into eternal night. The headlights scream of injustice and pain as we mourn another life lost in vain. The system broken, hearts shattered apart by those who should protect with courage, not dark. Sonia Massey pleaded on her knees. I'm sorry, she cried, but he still squeezed. No heart in his chest, just cold and bitter. This feels like a setup by the trigger happy hitter. In a world so unjust, Sonia Massey lost her life. Blame thrown left and right, but just to show ignite. Say her name loud and clear, let the truth be near. In the shadows of deceit, her memory we hold dear. Amidst the darkness and lies that cloud her fate. A victim of cruelty and a cruel twist of hate. Whispers of the injustice echo through the night. Sonia's spirit lingers, demanding what is right. Sonia Massey pleaded on her knees. I'm sorry, she cried, but he still squeezed. No heart in his chest, just cold and bitter. This feels like a setup by the trigger happy hitter. In the shadows of the night, Sonia stood tall. I rebuke you, in the name of Jesus she called. The officer's eye filled with venomous spite as he dared her. And I rebuke you in the dim moonlight. Sonia pleaded for mercy on bended knees. I'm sorry, she whispered, her voice filled with plea. But the officer's words cut through like a knife. A crazy bitch, she spat with hatred and strife. With courage in her heart, Sonia spoke clear and bold. Her name echoed loud as the story unfolds. Sonia Massey pleaded on her knees. I'm sorry, she cried, but he still squeezed. No heart in his chest, just cold and bitter. This feels like a setup by the heavy trigger hitter. In the darkness of despair, a cry for help was in the air. Sonia Massey, just 36, her mental health in need of fix. But a heartless cop's cruel hand ended her life without a care. Say her name loud and clear, let it echo far and near. Justice must be served for Sonia's unfairly taken. May her story be a beacon, shining light on lives forsaken. Sonia Massey pleaded on her knees. I'm sorry, she cried, but he still squeezed. No heart in his chest, just cold and bitter. This feels like a setup by the happy trigger hitter. We lift our voices high to honor Sonia's name in the sky. Let it hover over their heads as a reminder of the cost of neglecting those in need and the lives that have been lost.
And that's a fact. Let's say her name loud and clear. Let's not let them forget. Let's let her story, be the beacon that shines for other stories that have been forsaken. Because there's so many stories like this that is happening, and a lot of people is ignoring it. All right, let's finish listening to what they got to say so I can put on the next video, y'all. I want to say thank you to everybody that's been supporting a shorty, man. Y'all don't got to be here, but y'all here rocking out with a shorty, and I thank y'all.
Sonia was like, but can you just tell us what's your favorite, best memory that you guys have together?
Her waking up every morning cooking fried red tomato. That was my memory that I'm going to hold with me forever.
Memories.
She made it a point to call me, and keep in touch. And every time she calls, the first thing she says is, I love you, Uncle. She never called me Uncle Ray. She just called me Uncle. And she only called me to tell me about either the kids or her accomplishments. And she was so proud of herself, with the accomplishments that she's had. So that's what I'm going to miss. I'm going to miss her phone call. I'm going to miss her beautiful face. And
all right. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for sitting down.
Yeah, that's a shame for a family to have to go through this. It's fucked up. All right, y'all. We're going to hear her family speak at the wrap.